A beginner's guide to the 2018 FIFA World Cup. Here is how to sound smart wherever you might be watching the matches. The 2018 World Cup started Thursday. You may not be the world's biggest soccer fan, but you want to at least pretend, right? Here is how to sound smart wherever you might be watching the matches. Where is this thing, anyway? This year's tournament is in Russia. The first game, on Thursday, between the host and Saudi Arabia, was in Moscow. Over the next month, games will be played in 11 cities, as far east as Yekaterinburg, which is closer to Astana, the capital of Kazakhstan, than it is to Moscow, and as far north as St. Petersburg. Ad choice advertising and red invented by Tees. The time difference means most games will be broadcast between early morning and late afternoon in the United States. Know who's playing, and who's not. Advertisement. Let's start here. The United States is not playing in Russia. A change in coaches and the lack of a consistent lineup led to a ragged qualifying period for the team, and an October loss to Trinidad and Tobago, and Honduras' win over Mexico, sealed its fate. Italy and the Netherlands, perennial soccer superpowers, did not qualify this year, either. Other than that, all the big teams are here: Germany, Spain, France, Argentina, Brazil and England, which has not made much noise in international soccer for several decades. The 32 teams are organized into 8 4-team groups. Each team plays 3 matches, against its group members. The top 2 teams from each group advance to an elimination stage, at which point each match becomes a must-win. Pick a team. It's easier to know a lot about a single country's team than it is to know a little about every team in the tournament, and no one expects you to know every player on every team. Attractive potential options include Iceland, the least populous country ever to qualify for the Cup; Colombia, a fun, flashy team with a politically divided nation united behind it; Brazil, eager to avenge a 7-1 loss to Germany at home in the 2014 World Cup semi-final. Advertisement. Peru, a squad that hasn't been back since 1982 and has great uniforms. Spot. The rising stars Cristiano Ronaldo of Portugal and Lionel Messi of Argentina are the 2 most recognizable athletes on the planet, but this is likely the last World Cup for both of them. Their spots at the top of the game continue to be threatened by this group. Neymar, the Brazilian attacker, is 26 and already tied for 3rd on his country's career scoring list, a testament to his skill with the ball. He goes by a single name, as is traditional for the country's biggest soccer stars. He was injured toward the end of his club season, but if his goal against Austria in Brazil's last tune-up before the World Cup is any indication, he will be fine. Mo Salah, the ferociously fast Egyptian winger, was the English Premier League Player of the Year, netting 44 goals in all competitions last season. He, too, is coming off an injury, strained shoulder tendon suffered during the recent Champions League final, but is likely to play in Egypt's first game, against Uruguay, on Friday, when he turns 26. He may be talented enough to take a relatively weak Egyptian team into the knockout stages for the first time. Kevin De Bruyne, the Belgian, 26, is probably the best player on a talented Belgian team that most soccer experts expect to go far this year. He plays midfield, and his biggest contribution is making sure a game is played at the pace his team needs. A brief and arbitrary glossary for the uninitiated. Advertisement. So you want to hang with true soccer fans? Memorize some key phrases about how teams approach the game or that can be used to describe in-game moments, and you'll be golden. Tiki-taka, playing a possession game with short passes between players arranged in a series of connected triangles. Usage: Spain's tiki-taka style is going to be tough for Portugal to defend against. Route 1. Some teams prefer the directness of playing a long ball over the heads of defensive players to attackers who are sprinting at full speed. At its best, it can produce a goal of superb quality. Usage: England's really getting desperate if they're resorting to Route 1. Kit: what soccer people call uniforms. Dive: a flop, in which a player acts as if he has been fouled or injured when, in fact, he hasn't. Yoga Bonito, the unofficial catchphrase of the Brazilian national team. It has used the phrase to describe soccer that is played more as a form of artistic expression than as a sport. The offside rule: an attacking player cannot be the first to touch the ball if there are not at least two opposing players, one usually being the goalkeeper, between him and the goal when the ball is passed to him. Catenaccio, a lockdown defensive style associated with Italy and used with a great success in its 2006 World Cup title. As mentioned, Italy will be absent from this cup, but some of the less skilled teams may take cues from the approach. By Taboola Sponsored links Promoted links You may like Throne, free online game. Play this for 1 minute and see why everyone is addicted. Throne, free online game and wow fashionable, sexiest camo wedding dresses fantasy according to Mana fashionable und comedy trash 35 watches no one can afford comedy trash and Vikings. Free online game if you're over 30 and own a computer. This game is a must-have. Vikings, free online game. Undo Save 70.com. Flights in Singapore at ridiculously low price. Save 70.com. Mundo Bab, a language expert shares the secret to learning a language in 20 minutes. A de Babalundo.